So, what do we think about Tottenham?
Wait a minute.
What do we think about Tottenham?
Before we talk about Spurs, I have to talk about that intro.
What
Every
about it?
week, every week there's something new. There were just a whole bunch of new sound effects. Things exploded. Things went tickly tickly time bomby. I was expecting Bruce Willis to come walking out there with an explosion eventually. I don't know if he's an Arsenal fan, but yeah.
No, it's the editing guys. Right? The editing guys are on par. But yeah, still, what do we think about Tottenham?
Okay.
Good evening,
So
everybody.
yeah. Good evening and welcome to this the Cape Town Armoury, the weekly review
Weekly
podcast
preview,
or
review.
review
Yeah, review.
podcast, yeah,
Yep, there
review
we go.
podcast show of the Arsenal Cape Town Official Supporters Club. Welcome to those out there in the ether of the worldwide interweb. Welcome to Charlie, who's joined us, who was waiting. Mitchell, Billy, Warren, Dale Furry, Wayne Titus, Charles the Brain. Lovely having you, and I'm sure some more will be joining us. We have a happy show tonight, is it, Nazim?
Oh yeah, we are happy show, full house. Special guest arriving a bit later. I'm hoping he's available. But yeah, it's been a great weekend. I don't know. I'm just lost for words. I mean, I know going into this we were very nervous, but yeah, we came out on top.
So I assume it's not just the scoreline that made people happy. It was mostly the scoreline.
Well, I think it's. I think we'd be happy. We would have been happy with the 1-0. But I think the scoreline just pushed it up a notch, eh? Yeah, that's it. I mean, that first half was, just shows what this team can do. Firstly, and obviously we took our foot off the gas a bit in the second half. But yeah, there was no doubt that we were definitely the better team on the day.
Yes, not we haven't had much to to write home about this past few weeks and months.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I mean, if you take yesterday's game and the Manchester City game, it's chalk and cheese, man. I mean, different attitude. Everything about the team was totally different. I don't know. I mean, so this shows that they have it in them. But yeah, just happy. Happy that we didn't lose, and happy we got. I mean, 3 games ago, we were talking about if Arteta this, if he doesn't do this, if he doesn't do that. And look, in all honesty, I was one of them. It's like, dude, if he loses any of the next 3, he's got an issue. And he got 3 out of 3, and
and, and I don't think anyone had much confidence that we would get 9 points out of 9 points following what happened, the humiliation at the hands of Man City. So
no,
yeah,
not at all.
okay.
But yeah,
So tonight, yeah. So tonight we
uh,
have report actually from someone who was at the stadium, and we have another one person, David Smith, who was actually at the game as well yesterday.
yep.
So David, we have a couple of visuals and videos that David sent through. He and Alex have very kind of different views of the game. Yeah, but tonight we also have reports from someone who was at the game, and that is Alex
Alex.
Marsh.
Yep. So yeah, well, let's invite our guests and there's hi Alex,
Hello.
hi Gavin. How's it, guys?
Good. And you?
Good to be here.
Good.
Good.
Yes, so we have a new face. We're not going to talk about nothing changing in the world of Alex, the background, the guitar. I'm not
I knew it was going to come up. One day.
I am not confident that Alex can either play a guitar or in fact owns a guitar. I think that is a visual element that he's got, the visual picture he's got there. But
You'll never know.
we will. I'm gonna bet that it's not. But we also have a new face, a new face and a new voice. We have Gavin Mayron joining us tonight. Gavin, welcome to the show. This is your first
Hi.
time on the show, I believe.
It is, and I don't want to call myself an armory virgin because that could just sound weird. It's good to be here, and I think I do want to. Yeah, I mean it's a good time, to beat Tottenham and to beat our arch rivals. We have every reason to be happy.
Gavin, before we talk about how our sort of communal happiness, our universal happiness around the world, Arsenal fans are, I don't know, in peppy spirits this Monday. But just tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? Your relationship with the Arsenal? Can you give us a bit of context?
So the relationship it goes back to the early '80s when I was in England for a while and got to go to places like the Highbury. I've got some good friends who lived there, and I've always been in touch with Arsenal from there. And so my love for Arsenal has been, a good 40 years or so now, which is bizarre, but it just shows you, to go through that life of supporting a team and somewhat long suffering, because we do well and then we don't, and then we do well and then we unbelievable. We're the Invincibles and then we just the pathetic, So it's one of those journeys. But just for me, I mean, I've always been in the broadcasting world. I've been at many radio stations around the country, including East Coast Radio in Durban, Hearts FM in Cape Town, more in a managerial position than being on air, and more recently in Johannesburg at Xhaka FM. But I've done a lot of radio stuff. So broadcasting is something I'm familiar with, and it's good to be broadcasting in another world, like online and on Facebook. So great to be here, guys. This is cool.
Just don't mark us, please, for our performance. No score sheet or anything like that.
We'll do air check. Okay, but I've got a few notes I'm making about the ums and ahs that you're doing, Morgan.
Oh, okay. I like that kind of criticism. But anyway, it's lovely to have you, Gavin. Thank you for joining us. And we have, so someone, I just want to point out and ask, as someone who's been an Arsenal fan for 40 years, you are quite familiar with the peaks and the valleys, and so the ups and the downs. What do you think that what we've been through recently is something new in the Arsenal kind of club?
It's no. I think the horrific first three games were, and last year. And listen, you're right. This has probably been the toughest time, I think. I mean, one remembers just before Wenger, where there was this kind of criticism, and then this guy came from Japan, and no one knew who the hell he was, and there was all these, what the heck is this, and especially because he couldn't really speak very well, and he was importing a lot of foreigners into the team, and it had all that adverse effect from your average gooner. So that's the only time I can think of there. But he turned it around because he was probably one of the greatest managers that if not the greatest that Arsenal's ever had. And I think that we in that kind of where we once he left, it was always going to be a big ask for whoever was going to step into those shoes. And poor and then it just went from bad to worse, and then we ended up with Arteta, who was always going to be something that was going to do something, and it showed signs of doing things. But while it's been tough, I can say I don't think there's one Arsenal fan in the world that hasn't had hashtag Arteta out tweet, or been part of that. And then like what you were saying earlier on is and then eating your words. But
exactly.
I don't think we're out of the woods, guys. To be honest, I think it's early days for us to be all celebratory now, because I think we've discovered that Brentford is possibly going to be the giant killer of the year. We faced them first game out, with a depleted side that was full of injury, from COVID and all sorts of things, and then Champions League winners followed by Man City. I mean, it was always going to be a tough ask, and downhill. But the time that we've got ourselves back and together now is is a good sign, but sure, you know, it's we played probably the worst Tottenham team I've seen in a long time, and they've just come off 3 games losing 3-0 each. So to think that, you know, we want to be applauding and we want to be grateful about what was going on, but the truth is, you know, let's just pepper this celebration, because there's still a long way to go. You know?
I want to ask you not to preempt my big question for this evening. It's going to come later.
Okay,
Kind of
sorry,
moving in that
sorry.
direction. So it's just,
So-
yeah, sorry. That's all I've got. That's the big surprise question that I've got. But
Let me
Alex,
let me
Yeah.
first let me first answer Warren's question. There he is, Warren. Welcome, Wolfie.
Oh, the goodness, man. Oh, the goodness.
Wolves are surprised
Welcome,
this
guys.
evening.
Thanks for having me on the show again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
Wolfie,
wait,
I
wait.
want to warn you. You do know why you're here. You do understand the purpose of your space on this show tonight. We
What?
we want you to have to get a bit of an apron going, a little and get some cutlery there. Have a drink, some water that you're gonna need, because we want you to eat some humble pie tonight. But before we
yeah. What is this guy talking about? Come on.
But
Hey, come
before
on,
we get,
man.
but before we get to serving that very warm dish, or maybe it's cold, because Ren's apparently is best served cold. Alex, you were at the game
I was.
on Sunday. You've been to a
Yeah.
couple of games this season.
Yeah.
Tell me the difference in atmosphere between Sunday and possibly the last couple
What
of
in
games.
the Man City game away? Well, the
Oh
difference
yeah, the
is
Man City
the
game.
difference is Man City don't have any fans, so they have to populate their seats with Arsenal fans, which is how I got a ticket. That's the difference in atmosphere. That I mean, like yeah, man, it was awful though at Man City. It was so dire. I mean. It was bad before I even got in the ground at Man City, actually, because their whole ticketing system is totally buggered. Like they've gone to a new ticketing system where you're supposed to print out your tickets and take the printouts and get them scanned, but loads of people are taking their phones and the scanners aren't scanning through people's screen protectors properly. So you got this. It took me half an hour to get into the stadium at City. I'd already missed the first 2 goals before I even sat down. But, you
Not
know,
a bad
it was-
thing, then. Not a bad
yeah,
thing.
no,
then,
not a
you know.
bad thing. But you know, you just get in there and it's just deflating. Really, I ended up spending most of my time distracting myself, speaking to the person next to me. That was dreadful. You know, compare that with yesterday. Yesterday was incredible. That was the first North London derby I've been to in about 14 years, since before I came to South Africa. 'Cause before I came to South Africa, in what 2000 end of 2008. I used to go to pretty much every game, really, every home game. I had like silver memberships and things like that, and I just used to get tickets for pretty much every game. So the last North London derby that I went to was when Nicholas Bentner scored the winner. That's how long ago it was.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I think it might have been 2006, 2007. I can't remember. Around sort of Christmas time. It's a good little Christmas present, that. But anyway, so this time, I decided to go in with a bit more expensive seats over in club level, which are, you know, it's nice club level. I've got to say, club level at the Emirates. The Emirates is a nice stadium anyway, but club level is proper nice. It's a really nice bar setup that
Do they give you a little? Do they give you a little blankie with each seat? Free drinks, free popcorn. What makes?
I'm not sure if you get like 3 pints at half time. I don't drink alcohol anyway, but yeah, I mean, no, you just
The
get
seats are soft and
it's a much, well, the seats are about the same, I think, but it's a nice view because you're on the middle tier, so it doesn't matter where you are, you get a really nice perspective on the match, yeah, it's just a nice environment. It's much, well, I suppose some might not prefer it, but I've got Ray with me, so it's nice to have that not too manic atmosphere sometimes.
You must share some of these comments. You must share some. Sorry, Alex. I just want to listen to the couple of comments that Bevan's comment is quite interesting. We mustn't.
It was a pumping atmosphere though. Even before the game, it was good. They looked good in the warm up. I've got to say they looked quite direct in some of the drills that they were doing in the warm up. They started really well, and to go 3 up in the first half and absolutely batter them. I know Tottenham aren't particularly good at the moment. They did win their first 3 games though, but they've tailed off since then. But to batter them in the first half, 3 goals to 0, and then we did a reasonably good job of managing that second half as well, because we have had games before where we've completely collapsed at 3-0 up. It was just awesome. It's the best atmosphere I've been to since that last North London derby. Actually, either that game or the Man United game that I went to, which we also won in that same season. It was awesome.
Now I want to ask Wolfie. Wolfie, you've heard these stories. You've heard Alex's story at least about how much has changed since a couple of weeks ago. Yesterday we saw some Spurs fans either getting to the bathroom early. I don't know how good the facilities are at the Emirates, Alex. Whether it's a fight for a spot at the urinal, but there were a couple of Spurs fans leaving early compared to against Man City when Arsenal fans were leaving early. And when you switch your TV off early, Wolfie, tell me your experience of the game yesterday.
I was pumped up for the game, North London derby. I was pumped up because I could feel something's going to happen today. Judging the last 2 games, I wasn't too happy with the Norwich performance, nor with the Burnley performance. I just felt that we were very sloppy against Burnley, where we could have maybe won much by a greater margin if our final third was very, very poor against Burnley. But our defense was rock solid, and that gave me the calmness going into the London derby that I'm not going to watch guys like Holding, Chambers, Kolasinac. I was just happy not to see these guys. And the back line was solid, and I knew these guys is going to put the performance in. The only guy that I asked the supporters to back was White, Ian Wright. He was a little bit shaky last week, but I got great faith in that guy. He's a bowler. He's a good player. He's promising, and he's only gonna get better. So with our backline solid, and I knew our goalkeeper was the goalkeeper that we needed long time already. So going into this game, I knew that we can take Spurs on. Look, it's a London derby, as I've read a couple of comments, but it's a London derby. Anything can happen. Form goes out of the window. It's got nothing to do about Spurs' last 2 games. We won 2. It's an even platform. It's all about who wants it more. It's the passion, the desire. You got to play for the supporters. This is a game for all Arsenal supporters. And this game was, the game was all about Aubameyang, our front 3, Odegaard. These guys all had a fantastic game, including our defense. And it was marvelous to look at. The game itself reminded me of a game that when Sanchez was at Arsenal. I don't know if you guys remember the time when we blitzed Man United 3-0. We scored 3 goals in 10 minutes. We Walcott, Ozil, and Sanchez got on the score sheet. The game was over in 10 minutes. Now it was exactly the same game. We played quick football, counter-attack. We were ruthless. and we scored the goals, and the 3 goals that were scored was brilliant goals. I mean, take nothing away. Spurs could have got into the game if they took their chances. They had chances. I mean, the shot from Son, if that was Leno, that goal could have easily crept in. I mean, that was it with ferocity. But they had their chances, but our goalkeeper and our defense was the difference at the end. You got to weather the storm. And that's exactly what Arsenal did. And we could have gone 4-5, but it's about managing the game. And in past years, we might have drew the game 3-3, but there's steel now. There's steel in our team now. I mean,
Okay.
Gabriel, the guy's a gladiator.
I want to just ask a little something here to the panel. Maybe Gavin, both you and Alex hinted at it, and Wolfie's also hinted at. Was this was the result a function of Arsenal winning the game, or Spurs just being the worst Spurs, as a lot of people have said, that anybody's seen in a long time? Were we just lucky in the sense that because of the Spurs that turned up? Gavin, your thoughts on that?
Look, I mean, there's problems in that team. There's no question. I mean, Nuno was talking about it after the game, about the game plan that wasn't executed. Now, he didn't say that they ignored him. What he did say was they didn't have the players to do it. And that's telling in itself. I mean, look at Harry Kane. He was nowhere in this game. Ever since he's been rejected by Man City, he seems to have gone backwards. So there's a lot of stuff that's happening in that team at the moment that is, if I was a Spurs fan, I would be a bit concerned. But in saying that, it's hard to say that the worst team. They're just going through a bit of a bad form. We capitalized on it, and we capitalized on it hard and good. Like one does at a derby. They took no prisoners. They went out, destroyed them in 30 minutes, and basically dominated the game thereafter. I agree with what Wolfie was saying about the back line. I mean, isn't Ramsdale just a phenomenal keeper? And he saved, that shot from Son, and then there was the other one he tipped up against the bar. I mean, he's an incredible player, and I just love the way that he shouts and screams at his back line, and he's forever celebrating every good thing that happens on the pitch. That is the energy that has come to life in this team. So it's a good sign. But just getting back to Tottenham, I think they're in a bad space, and good. I'm glad.
Nazim, can you just put that comment by Roderick Fransman on quickly? I just want to ask that question. There's a question that begs to be asked. The last comment here by Roderick.
The last one. This one.
Yeah, this is the one. Okay. Now, a lot's been said over the past weeks and months over Arteta not having a consistent starting lineup. Alex, is this as close to the starting? Is this our A team? We saw the team that started in the midweek game.
Yeah, I think it is our A team.
And then I do want to just ask the important little part of that question. Does this mean Xhaka? You guys will leave
You got to go for
Xhaka alone now?
Yeah, the jury's still out on Xhaka, isn't he? I mean, he'll have a good game.
Can't handle this.
Put together a string of like 5 good games, and then he'll get a red card when he'll let the side down, and we'll lose 3 points. That is Xhaka.
He has a red card. Sorry, just for the record, he has 1 red card every 40 games. So let's not make it.
It might be all right then for the rest of the season. Hooray!
4 red cards over 165 appearances. Just so we know.
Okay, so he's not getting a red card for the rest of the season then? Okay.
He's not supposed to. He's supposed to be another 39 games.
Say no.
Another 39 games.
But I don't know. He had a really good game yesterday. He doesn't bring the ball out from the back as quickly as I'd like. He tends to sort of turn around, pass backwards. We all know his shortcomings, really. But I think Lokonga could be a much better player. I think even Maitland-Niles could be a better player in that position. eventually. But I don't know. You've got to go for a little bit of experience sometimes as well. I think that him and Partey absolutely bossed that midfield yesterday. But
And don't overlook his part in getting the ball out quickly for the Aubameyang goal. Everybody's kind of overlooked what happened.
Yeah,
Because
he did.
Ramsdale a bit of a hospital pass there, and then
it was quick build up. You know what?
Could have gone either way.
Quick build up for all three of the goals. It was quick build up play. It was end to end, and that's how all of us are used to seeing Arsenal play for the past 20 odd 25 years or so under Wenger. That's the type of football we used to play. Break teams down in defence, go transition from defence to attack super quick and get a goal. But we haven't been seeing that for years really. And maybe it's a sign of things to come. Maybe it's the sort of direct play that we want to play now. It seemed to work.
Yeah,
exciting to watch as well.
Yeah, no. I just want to ask Wolfie quickly because it's the same question I posed to Alex about: is this the starting 11? Is this our best starting 11? And the question that Warren then asked is there still place for Lacazette in the team? What would you
look? It depends. Look, the team that played yesterday was the perfect team. I mean, a lot of supporters they were worried about Xhaka. His performance of late wasn't that good up until yesterday's game. A lot of supporters wanted to have him rested for a couple of games because his performance wasn't up to scratch. And so was Smith Rowe. He wasn't involving himself much into the game, especially last week. He didn't involve himself too much. This week, the guys, they were brilliant. I mean, both of them were brilliant. And if they can continue playing like that, of course they can't play like that every game. But they are the combination between Smith Rowe and Xhaka. They know each other through the junior years. They play together football, so they know exactly where to go, they know each other. As far as Lacazette, I'd like the guy to come in, but after Aubameyang's performance, it's going to be very difficult for Lacazette to come in. But Lacazette has shown when he comes in, he does a job. He hasn't been poor for us. A lot can count on injuries, those kind of things. I mean, our right back now can
But are you happy with this?
I'm very happy with this. The whole starting lineup, I'm very happy with. Look, maybe Pepe can come in. It depends on opposition against who we're playing. Where Arteta will maybe use Pepe for this game. He might feel that Pepe is better suited to playing against a right back or left back. But the team that played yesterday I chose that team against Spurs. So for me, I would stick with that team. Xhaka, I'll bring him in. He does add experience. Although there was about 90% yesterday that was moaning about this decision about Xhaka coming into the team. But he does bring experience. He plays well with Partey. We all know when Xhaka plays with Partey, that there is there's a solidness in our midfield. So I would play him.
Okay. Thanks, Wolfie. Kevin, would you make any changes to the starting lineup? And what would those changes be?
It's hard to say. I'm pretty happy with the way we
Kevin,
started.
I must just warn you, this is to get a measure of you, whether you in the Xhaka in or Xhaka out camp. So.
I see. I'm not a super fan. I really don't. I think he's reckless. But he does have days where he's hard and strong. And am I disappearing? Can you still hear me? He does have days when he's hard and strong, and I think he does do commanding things. He just does stupid things. So I mean, I don't know. I think that Partey has really, and definitely Odegaard in terms of that midfield, have made a big difference. And I think Ben White, the jury's still out for me on him. But I don't know who would be a better replacement at the back. I think the strike force that we have on the bench now is pretty darn good. If you think about it, we've got Pepe and we've got Lacazette sitting there. I mean, if there is something that we need up front, Arteta can pull those guys on. So, you know, and that's what gets me back to when I was talking about it at the beginning. You know, we never had a full strength side, you know, for those first 3 games, as we've seen the settling and, you know, a lot of, you know, the break, the international break allowed for a lot. Not playing in Europe has allowed for the team to consolidate a lot. So there's a lot of stuff going there, but I always feel that Arteta's like one loss away from #Arteta out, because you never know. You know, I mean, because listen, the next couple of games are going to be easy. We face Brighton.
And the post out again.
Yeah, listen. Depending on what happens with Brighton tonight, I mean, they could go through and be like third from the top if they beat Palace. We've got Brighton next week.
Leaders. You know? Like Brighton go top if they win tonight.
Go top, exactly. You know, and we play them next week. Then there's also Villa to watch. We've got coming up. We've got Palace. There's Leicester. I forget who the other teams are, but in the next 6 games, you know, we have to keep this momentum going, and we probably from the next 6 games, we definitely need to pull, you know, a good 12 or 13 points at the very minimum, you know, just to stay sort of. We're never going to win the league, but we just need to not embarrass ourselves and end up mid-table. I'd like to be, you know, something towards the top, because it is a build, and we are on a good run, and let's just keep that going.
Alex, is this derby form that will pass? Is this just a false dawn? And we all kind of, cause I certainly enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed the football the most in a very long time.
Yeah.
I cannot remember when I've applauded the football.
Oh yeah, no, I was so happy yesterday.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah. Great football. I didn't really see, like I was saying at the beginning of the season, I couldn't really see what the process was. It was just, you know, I couldn't really see an identity, a style of play. It looked very slow, lethargic, no cutting edge at all. We weren't taking our opportunities. We weren't even getting the shots on goal. So it was difficult to see what Arteta was actually trying to achieve. However, we were up against very tough teams in Chelsea and Man City. We also hadn't had all of our players available, or a lot of our best players weren't available. Some of them were new players as well. You know, Ramsdale's only just come in as well. Tomiyasu as well has only just come in. Those two are actually, I would say, are 2 very key players to our team now. Gabriel also wasn't in, so you know,
Partey wasn't there.
Partey as well. You know, that's a lot of key players that weren't in at the start of the season, and now they're all starting to play together. And I think yesterday, you know, when the pressure was on, they all came out and performed, and hopefully we'll see that moving forwards.
Okay. Wolfie, a couple of shows ago, we asked you the question. I think we had that horrible start, and we asked. I think the question we asked was, what could Arteta do to save his neck? And I think we look at it at the next 3 games and couldn't imagine the Arsenal, even Alex on his most optimistic, couldn't imagine 9 points out of 9.
We were. Look, 99%.
As Arteta, at least.
I'm telling you, 99% of the goodness was the Arteta out. I know you were part of that 1%. You and Charlie, you guys, were still hanging on a thread. Save the guy's job.
So I'm going to ask you now, even if it's not #Arteta in, is it perhaps now #Arteta maybe? Where are you at this particular moment?
Look, I can tell you one thing. I celebrated. I haven't seen Arteta celebrating like this since he won the 2014 FA Cup. And I love this picture. I must. If we continue playing like this, I might have this picture on my wall by the end of the season.
Oh.
But I can tell you one thing.
Wow. I
can tell you. He's impressed me, and also what I'm thinking now is I'm thinking about the interview of Edu where Edu he called for calmness, and he also in a lot of his statements he said, judge the team when Ben White, Gabriel, Tomiyasu, when these guys play together. That was his words. And since Arteta has brought these guys in the team, we've seen a difference. We've seen a difference in attitude, a difference in defending. We've seen a desire to win games. Like Brian said about the goalkeeper, he's got an extra passion in him. His celebration, the way he marshals his defense. These are all the platforms that Arteta is now he needs to work on these guys now, and if they can continue doing this and playing the way we played yesterday and to carry it through and just to be a little bit more ruthless in that final third the way we were yesterday, and take our chances. I mean, yeah, for sure, I can see us climbing up the table if we continue playing like this. And Arteta, you got to give credit to the guy. I mean, he was under tremendous pressure from everyone at the Emirates. I mean, we saw the scenes. It was toxic after that game. Everybody called for his head, and you got to give credit the guy, the way he celebrated. I want to applaud him. I'll say well done to the lad. Well done. I'm impressed, and I'm happy for the guy. I'm really happy for the guy. I've got nothing but goodness to speak about Arteta today.
I just want to point out here that the fans, the Gooners, now that we're winning games and we can't turn on Arteta now, the fans are turning on the host of me of the show. So we have comments from Mark. Morgan is more Everton than Arsenal fan, and it's not Everton, it's Leeds. Can we just respect? And then I want Jeremy's comment. Where's Jeremy's comment there? Nazim, can you just find Jeremy's comment? There we go. If there was a picture of the deluded Gooner in the dictionary, you'd see Morgan.
These guys are tough on you, eh? These guys are tough on you. These guys are tough. I think they're pulling your leg, man. They're pulling your leg.
Kevin, will you back me up here? Will you back me up and hint that we know it's just been one really good game. We've lost, Kevin. So, Alex, you're going to have to save me. Jeremy, leave Leeds alone, man. Leave Leeds alone. Okay, Kevin, I want to ask you, is there some grounds that I figured that Arteta wouldn't last 10 games the way we were going? Is there some grounds for imagining now that the team is on the right trajectory? We've won 2 ugly wins and 1 beautiful win. But is there anything that gives you confidence that maybe the process is working out?
I think there was a comment from somebody earlier on around said that the Arteta in people are the people in the stadium. The Arteta out people are the people on social media. And you find that often we're swayed by what social media is saying as if it's the real thing, if it's really what everyone is actually feeling. It's only just what's happening on social media. So I think that, yes, one has to trust the process. What else have we got to go? I mean, who are we going to get in? I mean, and I don't know. I think, yeah, I mean, there's all these predictions. Do you think Ollie's going to be there by?
We all imagine Ollie would be out. Yeah. Kevin,
I could ask those questions, but I think that Arteta's found the formula now. Yeah, so we all these armchair television watchers, all the game watchers.
Armchair coaches, all of us, aren't we?
Yep.
I'm actually qualified.
Alex, we sorry, Wolfie. I know you.
I saw Alex must have been happy. He saw his best friend there at the stadium, Daniel Ek.
Sorry about that.
Okay. I just want to
Daniel Equus.
That's your best friend.
The
Isn't it?
guy's gonna buy Arsenal, man. Come on, I sent the guy up to the Emirates to Kruger.
we love the Americans. We love the Americans now. So we just want to have a quick look at the log. Wolfie, we just want to take a quick look at the log.
Do we have the best form in the league at the moment? 3
We
Oh,
weeks.
yes,
do
we
have
do.
the
Yeah,
best-
we do.
the last 3 games.
Based on
we
3
have the best-
games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we suddenly jumped from, what was it? Where were we?
We were
19,
20th.
18? We
20th.
were 20th.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We were
bottom.
20th.
We were
3
bottom
games
after
ago,
those
we were
3 games.
20th.
We've jumped from 20th to 10th, if only by the superior number of goals scored over Spurs. Everyone seems to be having little speed bumps in the road. Even
So after
Brighton.
9 games, we'll be top then, will we?
If we keep this up,
If we keep this up.
if we keep this form going, but people and we don't blast any penalties over the goalposts, over the bar. Okay, so we still have a terrible goal difference. We somehow managed to score 3 goals in a game, which is
But Morgan,
Amazing.
I'm sorry, I lost you
Yeah.
there for a bit. But if we look at the next 6 games, we've got Brighton followed by Palace,
Well, the
then
winnable
Aston
game.
Villa, then Leeds, then Leicester, and then Watford. I mean, realistically, that's a possible 18 points. But how realistic is that? I'd like to know from the rest of the team.
we must understand the Arsenal fans go through these kind of, they vacillate. They go from one extreme to the other, depending on how well we're doing. A couple of games ago, we couldn't imagine getting 3 out of or 5 out of the 9 points
Right.
that we got.
Right.
So now that we've had a good win, I want to just ask the people out there in the comment section and the panel here to imagine of the next. What you want to talk about the next 6 games, Gavin? How many of
Yeah,
those
yeah.
18 points do you imagine, Gunas, we can
So
get?
so
Wolfie?
so we just need to fix that. So the Leeds game is a cup game, so that's not a league game.
Oh,
So
okay.
we've got
right, of course.
So it's,
we've got Brighton, Palace, Aston Villa, Leicester, Watford, Liverpool.
Right, there's Liverpool at the end of it. Sorry. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can make it 15 points. After the next 15 until
15.
we meet Liverpool.
are we playing Liverpool away or
Oh wait,
Away.
away? Okay.
We can reevaluate after the next 5 games where we imagine whether we can beat Liverpool. Wolfie, I keep putting you on the spot for these things. I'm going to ask Alex as well, and then Gavin. I'm going to make Gavin answer his own
so
question.
Morgan,
Out
let's
of
just repeat
15.
that. So you asked the people also in the chat, out of 15, how
Yeah.
much are we going to get? Yeah. So
Yes, out
guys
of
in the
15.
chat, just let us know what you think, how many points we'll get out of 15. So that's the next 5 games.
Let's include Liverpool in the mix because that's.
You want to add the Liverpool game? So 6. So okay, so let's add the Liverpool game. So let's add the Liverpool game. So it's 18.
So it's what's it against? Who we playing? Hold on. Aston
Okay.
Villa, Brighton,
Yeah.
Palace,
Crystal Palace.
Remember, Brighton
Who's the
could be league leaders by the time.
who's
we
the
play
first
them.
team?
which is next week.
Le-
and then
we
there's
got
Leicester.
Leicester,
Watford,
Watford,
Liverpool.
Liverpool. Yeah.
Okay, and I'm going to tell you exactly where those games are being played, whether it's home or away. Can anybody help us quickly?
Yeah,
so
I can.
Brighton's away. Crystal Palace is at home. Villa is at home. Leicester is away. Watford's at home. Liverpool's away.
Okay. So there we go. So give us your best estimates. We're running the gamut here. We've got Warren. Okay, guys, let's ask the panel as well. Wolfie, Alex, and Gavin. Give us your best numbers for out of that 18.
I say 13.
Okay, Gavin says 13.
I think
Yeah.
we'll draw with Brighton. I think we'll beat Palace at home. We'll beat Palace. We'll beat Villa. We'll probably, I think, possibly, I'm going to say lose to Leicester, and we'll beat Watford. And Liverpool,
Liverpool.
I'm hoping for a draw. If Brentford can do it, we can.
It's away.
Okay.
Anfield.
Just for the
Hey,
record,
hey,
just for the
Hey,
record,
hey,
Leicester's
Is that a
having
happy
a
hunting
dipping-
ground?
It's having a dip in form. I think. Can you just show the next slide, Nazim? I think Leicester is where have they gone? Oh, they're in 13th at the moment.
13th.
They've lost 2
They
games
drew.
in Peru over the weekend. Wolfie out of 18, out of
Yeah.
that 18.
It's
What?
look. I think it's gonna be. Look, I'm now gonna tell you how many points, but a lot depends on Party being fit for these games. I mean, we can see the difference he makes when he plays, and he needs to be fit for the Liverpool game, for the Leicester game. It's difficult. Last season we haven't scored a goal against Aston Villa. It's a difficult. It's going to be for real. Are we
No,
playing
no, no,
Villa? Are we playing Villa home or away? Home.
Home.
Wolfie, it depends on a lot of things. Depends if Xhaka is going to be fit or gets a red card. Depends on Pepe
Yeah.
or Lacazette. So give us a
Injury.
number.
Look,
Just a
I'm
fun
looking at.
number.
I'm looking at. I'm going to look at of that 6 games. If we can win 4, 12 points. I'm going to go on 12 points. If we win 4 and lose the other 2, I'll be happy.
Okay. Alex, where's the optimism? This
Yeah,
isn't
I think 13 points is quite realistic. I think we could beat Brighton. I think we can beat Palace. I think we can beat Villa. I don't really rate Villa at the moment. I think we might draw away against Leicester. I think we could beat Watford. I think we'll probably lose against Liverpool at Anfield. Do you know what? Looking at our team yesterday, if I was any other team in the Premiership, I'd actually be quite fearful of playing us at the moment, because that team yesterday looked pretty damn good. I think we could, on the day, I think we could beat anyone in the league.
Yep.
But
And at home, I mean,
depends
you
how
were
many of
there.
those days.
That
Depends
crowd,
how many of
that
those
crowd
days
must
we
have made a
get,
big
yeah.
difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that probably was a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Okay.
want to point out here that with a couple of kind of guesstimates as to and predictions as to how many points we get, but also a couple of comments about the teams we've got coming up. Brighton will be tough. They beat Brentford. Alistair points out. I'm not sure that was him being sarky in a reference to us
That's true.
not beating Brentford. But in somewhat great. With a couple more comments.
All of a sudden,
Well,
Brentford are a
well.
top team. I mean,
Yes, we were mocked for losing against Brentford.
I
but
know.
now suddenly there's a lot of respect for Brentford. Roderick Franzman points out that Leicester's had a bit of a slump. Charles the Brain says we beat Leicester last season. Alistair also points out that Leicester is glitching this season, so a lot of uncertainty. Obviously, there would be, but I think there is a certain level of optimism. The fact that most people predict we can now get more than 10 points out of 6 games is a bit of a change in disposition since a couple of weeks ago. Nazim, I think we have to go to the quiz.
Yeah.
We are running out of time. Sorry.
We just need to do the rating. So, guys, we are running
yes.
out of time. So just give your rating, guys, in the chat. When we come to a player, that's when you put it in, and we'll take the first rating we see in the chat. Okay. So, Gavin, let's start with Ramsdale.
A number out of 10.
Number out of 10.
Sure, I give him a 9 for yesterday's game. Are we talking yesterday's game?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
we are.
Yeah.
Just
So I definitely also in the 9. White, my screen's gone. Is about
no,
8.
no, it's fine.
Nazim will put it back up now.
I'll put it back up now. Okay. Alex, Ramsdale.
Yeah, 9, definitely.
Thanks, guys, for putting down the names of the player in the comment sections. Well, that does help. I'm assuming those are the Man United fans bewailing the penalty miss yesterday. Or the other day.
There's a new crater in the moon.
The best comment I heard was that ball is probably still traveling. I don't know, that's just a bit mean. Okay, so where are we? Do we have
Wolfie.
Another impressive performance. I'll give a 9. Same.
Rodri
guy-
gives him 9.5 out of 10.
9.5. Okay.
Is that for his performance on the beam or on the mat?
And then we go to Tamiyasu. I'll bring everything up in a minute.
Gavin Tamayasu?
I also said a 9. I think I'd like to point out that Ramsdale would have been a 10 had he not nearly given the ball away right at the corner of his box, which turned into a goal.
Xhaka was there to save him. It's okay.
I know.
It's okay.
But yeah. But other than that, so 9 for Tommy Yesu.
Alex?
Yeah, I'll give him an 8, I think.
I'll go the
Yeah,
I'll go the
I-
8 as well.
There was a couple of things where he let Harry Kane go through, didn't he? Pretty much clean through on goal. And Son did get a goal in the end, which, you know, that's part of his responsibility. And Ben White's, I think, they were supposed to be containing him. But yeah, I mean, but he had a pretty damn solid game, and he kept Son quiet for most of the game.
Most of the game,
You
yeah.
know, fair play to him. It's not an easy task. Every right back that we've had for quite a long time now has failed at the task of containing Son.
Wolfie, so what would you give Tommy?
No, Tommy, I would give him an 8 also.
Okay. Gavin for White?
Wait, Tommy for the chat. I think Brandon was first there. 9. Okay, White. Next one. Gavin.
Yeah, as I say, the jury's still out for me. I think he's holding his own, but I would give him a 7.
Alex?
Yeah, well, the same. It was funny, like when he won his first header against Kane, everyone was like, "Yes, he's won a header!" and then we scored immediately afterwards, and it was like, "Oh, amazing!"
It's
Just took
hilarious.
the shine off him winning that header a little bit. But yeah, also his mark. I'm not sure if it was him that was supposed to be marking Son, but he gave Son far too much space for that goal.
Definitely.
Wolfie.
He played well out from the back. Look, I'll give the guy 8. He had a much better performance than the Burnley game.
Okay, then our first one in the chat is Charles with the 8 for White. Next player, Tierney. Gavin.
Yeah, this is a hard one because he really didn't shine in this. He wasn't. Let's put it this way: he always has a good game, but he wasn't as prominent as what the other players are, and it's hard to determine whether he was quiet or not. So I would say probably around a 7 as well.
Alex.
Yeah, I think 7's a good one.
Wolfie.
I'm gonna give him an 8 because we didn't see Dele Alli on the field. He kept him quiet for pretty much all of the game.
Okay, and then Brandon was first in the chat for 7 for Tierney, and then Gabriel. Gavin.
8 for Gabriel. I think he's solid at the back, and sort of 8.5 even for me.
Alex.
Yeah, I would give him a 9 because I thought he was absolutely bossing it out there.
And Wolfie.
I'll give him an 8. Solid performance, captain's performance, future captain.
Okay, then we got first person
A
for
10.
Gabriel, 10, eh? Roderick, I'm gonna take your 9.9 and turn it into a 10. Party, Gavin.
Yeah, I think definitely a 9. I mean, he didn't do much wrong, did he? So that's probably a 10 actually.
Yeah, I'll give him,
Probably his
give him a
best
9.
performance. Probably his best performance for Arsenal since.
Oh, yeah.
Him and Xhaka absolutely dominated that midfield. Yeah.
Wolfie.
Bastard. I'm gonna give him a 9.
And the guys in the chat.
9. Craig
9.
Stanley is the first one for Partey
Okay.
at 9.
Xhaka, he is everybody's favorite player.
Yeah. I
Gavin?
think a 2.
What?
You're not serious, right?
I think, yeah. Look, he, as I said, he did his job, and you're quite right when you say Partey and Xhaka bossed in the back. So I think for this game, he deserves a 9.
Yeah,
Alex?
I'll give him a 9 just for that as well.
Wolfie?
I'm getting.
I'll give him a 7. I'll give him a 7.
Okay, I think-
Theory idea.
I think Brandon was first, eh?
Craig was
Brandon
actually
gave.
there. Okay.
No, Brandon was first. That's what I see here.
Oh yes, a 7.
A 7 for
guy.
Xhaka. Odegaard,
10.
10. Alex,
I'd give him a 9.
Wolfie,
Chased stuff down the whole game. He was-
The guy was a little bit sloppy on the field. I don't know if you guys watched the first half. He gave the ball away to Sonway. He nearly scored. I'll give the guy a 7. He wasn't the most impressive of our front line.
The first score for Odegaard on the chat is a 10+2.
okay, I can only give him a 10. I can only give him a 10.
I still didn't see the ball touch his right foot.
No.
But-
I
but-
did.
but
I did
he didn't need
actually.
it.
I saw it touch his right foot.
Oh, they clip it on its way through to the left.
And he did it in practice as well.
And Smith Rowe, guys.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's for me. That's a 10 plus. I mean, the goal, the assist, the speed, just the energy. I mean, he had the perfect game.
Yeah,
You know, it's just
definitely.
how he would never. He would have to be have a broken leg to not start in this team.
Smith
Okay,
Rowe.
just for a little bit of history, there's a bit of fighting over Odegaard. Mitchell Billy only wanted to give him a 6, but we'll leave that.
Odegaard chased down that ball when he didn't have the ball. He chased the ball down the whole game, and he was instrumental in putting the pressure on that we needed to
And
win the ball
one
back.
thing about
He was
it's
very
true.
good off the ball and on the ball.
One thing about Odegaard, he always starts our press. Wherever we play, he's the guy that's first there.
Okay.
Cool.
Wolfie. Is it Wolfie?
Alex, what did you give Smith Rowe?
10, definitely.
Wolfie?
I'm gonna give the guy a 9. The guy was magnificent.
I didn't see who was the first comment. I just saw 10s and 9s.
I see it. I think it's Brandon who's named him, which is a 9.5. I wasn't sure whether the 7s or the 10s are for Odegaard.
Okay, Saka.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. This is Saka. I think we'll look. He got a brilliant goal. He was applauded off the field. I think he had a superb game, but it wasn't the perfect game I've seen from him. So let's say an 8.
Alex?
Yeah, he got a goal and an assist, but for the rest of the game, he wasn't amazing. He did cause a lot of problems down that right-hand side, and I think part of the reason why his performances haven't been great is because he's been played on the left-hand side. He definitely suits the right-hand side. It's where he plays for England as well, on the right-hand side. So let's keep playing him there. But it was much better than his previous performances. I would give him an 8.5.
Wolfie?
Brilliant assist from Kane. So I'm gonna give the guy a 9.
I just want to point out to the world watching that Saka's performance is one of the reasons I kicked Alex's butt in fantasy league this past weekend. This is the outcome.
I think it was Roderick with the first Saka
With a 10,
with
yeah.
a 10. Yeah.
I've got
Our
Saka in my
captain.
team.
Our captain.
Yeah. Look, he did a captain's performance. Yes, but he got the goal. It was a gifted goal, really, but he still had to do something at the end, and just turned it wide. It really was a good performance for him, and I think that he's definitely the senior player that most of the youngsters look up to and look to. It doesn't always appear that way, when he's going wide or whatever. But I reckon he deserves a 9.
Alex?
Yeah, gets a 9 for me. His performance was good, but you've also got to love his Thierry Henry celebration in front of
Oh,
the,
wow.
Oh, that was awesome.
That was
Take
so
about
good.
2 points
I love
off for that Thierry Henry celebration.
Right in front of the
I don't think Thierry minded. He was there.
No,
I don't
no,
think
no,
he
It
minded at all.
was a good homage
What a tribute.
to Thierry.
For sure.
Wolfie?
Yeah, he definitely upped his game, eh? I'm giving him a 9. Brilliant.
Awesome. Maitland-Niles?
I can't remember much of what he did other than just hold the fort. He came on, as a substitute, and so it's hard to create a score for what he did or didn't do. So because he was on the field for such a little bit of time, I can only really give him a 5 or 6.
And the team
Is
was
it
kind of
too
in
harsh?
kind of cruising mode at that stage. They weren't
Yeah.
pushing hard, but he wasn't really asked to do.
He came on for
Yeah.
Xhaka, didn't he?
extravagant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Lukonga actually came on for Xhaka. Maitland
that's right.
Niles came on for. I can't remember who he came on for actually. I think he did come on quite late though. I don't know, 6,
Yeah.
7,
Yeah.
6
I
and a
think
half.
all the there
All the
wasn't-
subs, we can't really give them a score because I think our heads were gone already. Because I'm also trying to think, what did these three subs do? Okay, so
No, I think it's unfair to score them.
yeah.
Yeah, I think they
Yeah.
just came on-
let's leave them. Arteta.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's difficult. Hey, well, look, he chose that's his strongest
Yeah.
team, and that's the team he's going to hold himself to. So I would say that he has to get the credit. We've given him the criticism when he's been, you just don't know what's inside his head. But I think that he deserves a 9 for me. I think it was a solid manager's performance, and just the way that he. Do you guys ever watch him on the sideline compared to other managers? I mean, he's more animated than Pep. Alex, I mean, you would have seen it firsthand, but I just noticed he feels like he's on the flipping pitch itself.
Yeah, sometimes
there
I think he micromanages people a little bit, which sometimes
not a
I
good
think
thing.
halts the flow of the game a little bit, maybe. But don't know. Yeah, for me, he gets a 10, but just because he battered Spurs.
Yeah, true.
Wolfie, this is the rating I'm waiting for.
Look, it's I'm not giving the guy a 10, but look,
Put the voodoo doll away.
look, he obviously surprised all the Gunners when he selected Granit Xhaka. So, but he came good. He played well. He did what he was supposed to do, and for the celebration, hey, still fresh in my memory. Arteta celebration. Yeah, I mean it's a London derby win. That's definitely a 9 from me.
Okay.
I just want to say something.
Change mine to a 10. He deserves a 10.
I just want to say
Deserves a
something.
10.
So you don't want
I'm-
to change yours, Wolfie?
9 is good. It's good. It's good. It's good.
Sure.
It's good.
Okay, so according to us, Emil Smith Rowe is our man of the match, but Tomiyasu got man of the match award.
Yeah. I just want to
Okay.
say something. I'm very surprised that people were surprised that Arteta chose Xhaka
Just to
because
take you back.
I did say that it was going to do that, more than likely. Okay, we have a quiz, but I think what I'm going to do with the quiz, Nazim, is simply we're running out of time.
Yeah, we
I
are.
will,
We
I will
can't.
simply post the quiz over the next couple of days onto the Facebook group.
Yeah.
So people can do it's an open book exam then. It becomes an open book exam and people can look up the answers to
Yeah.
those questions. Are we going for predictions?
Yes, we are. So obviously, let's just first look at the log. Predict the quiz.
I forgot to
Just to remind you how it works. I'm not going to say 7 points for exact score, 4 points for correct result with correct goal difference, 2 points for the correct result. Goal difference doesn't matter, then 0 points for the incorrect result. And prizes, $500 first place, second place $300, third place $200. And our log leader is still Colleen O'Brien.
Did she get it right again?
No, she didn't get it right, and she lied to us in the chat. She told us we're gonna draw, and she actually predicted a win, but I think she predicted a 2-1 win or 1-0 win. So she got 2 points. But yeah, Alex is stepping up nicely, and Morgan is falling away.
I haven't submitted for the past 2 games, so that doesn't give everybody else a chance. That's
Oh,
all
it's to
I'm-
give everybody else a
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, just to let you know, I suck at this game. I think I'm like 30th. I got like 4 points or something like that.
I
But
would,
yeah,
I would have had another 3 points for the last 2 games per game, so I would have been up to 14. I would have,
Of course you would.
yeah.
Warren is still upset he's not on the first page.
Warren will send you the full spreadsheet.
Yeah,
120-page spreadsheet.
yeah. But that's it. So just for the fun of it, so you can just give us your predictions on the Brighton game. We'll start with Wolfie.
I'm gonna go for. It's gonna be a tough match. I'd like to see the battle between Party and Imbusuma. So yeah, I'm gonna go, but I think we're gonna edge this one. I think we're gonna bring Brighton. We're gonna surprise them. I'm gonna go with a 2-1. Hard for 2-1 victory.
Okay. Cool. Oh, and I also want to add this is that nobody, I don't think anybody got the prediction right.
I saw a couple of 3-1s in the chat last show. There were a couple of 3-1s. I was surprised that nobody submitted those scores, but we had a couple of 3-1s for sure.
Yeah. Alex, your thoughts on the Brighton game?
1-0.
1-0.
Arsenal.
After
Quite tough. They can be quite tough. We found them tough last season, but I think we might get a 1-0.
Gavin, your thoughts? Oh, sorry, Alex.
Yeah, no.
Alex, you stole my score, Alex. I was going to say 1-0 to the Arsenal. Look, we're on a roll now.
You can have my 2-0.
Alex, I took your 2-0. I took your 2-0.
And we'll be playing away. We'll be playing away, but I reckon that we can hold them. You know, and somebody's got to stop these guys. Come on, you know they well, let's hope that Vieira and Palace, you know, put a stop to them. I don't know what's going to happen later. I'll watch the game later, but I reckon 1-0 to the Arsenal.
Cool. Morgan.
I'm gonna go for a 3-1 win, just because I want to.
We beat Spurs 3-1.
Yeah, but I think I'm yeah. For me, it's 2-0. I just took Alex's 2-0, and I think we're gonna do it that way. But guys, you want to say something, Morgan?
No. Actually, I should have said 2-1. Looking back at the history of the clubs, the 23 games they've played each other, 2-1s was a very common scoreline. Actually, surprising. No. Tell you what, can I change it to 4-0?
Sure. Okay.
We're going to lose by that much.
What's this guy? Hypertension pillars or what? Come on.
I got some exciting
Yeah,
today, by the way. I got some
Alex,
really exciting news. So this morning, about 10 o'clock this morning, I got an email from Arsenal Football Club. So did Ray, saying we're going to give you the opportunity to get a season ticket, right? So for the rest of the season,
one.
A real season ticket. Yeah. So
win one or buy one?
No, buy one. So
okay.
So about as soon as I got the email, straight on the phone to the Arsenal box office. Right, I've been 2 hours. I'm on hold, right, and then every 2 hours my phone cuts out because the network kills your call after 2 hours. So then I have to start again. And I've literally been on the phone since 10:15 this morning till about 5:30 this afternoon, which is about half an hour after the box office is supposed to close, right? And then I didn't really expect it. I'm on the phone to my boss, right? And then on the other line, I've got the Arsenal calling up, so I hung up on my boss.
Oh, good one.
I've got my boss messaging me like, "You all right? You just like, 1 minute."
So Alex, what you're saying is...
You better hope your boss doesn't watch this show.
He knew I got on the phone afterwards and I told him, and he was like, "Oh, that's fine." It's like
you just bought a very expensive season ticket with money from a job that you thought you had.
Yeah. I now no longer have that job. So I've now got a season ticket. Both me and Ray have got season tickets for the rest of the season, and we also get like first dibs on. So for me, it's a big thing because I originally got on the season ticket waiting list in 2003, right?
Whoa.
And I waited 11 years until I got offered my season ticket. And while I was in Cape Town, they were actually trying to call me and get in touch with me because they were going to offer me a season ticket when I was in South Africa. But they couldn't get hold of me because I changed my email address or something like that. So anyway, I waited 11 years, and then when that 11 years was up, they offered it to me, but I couldn't afford it at the time, and I wasn't living anywhere near London, a bit like now actually. But and then Ray had also been born and all the rest of it, so I was like, well, I'll just put myself to the back of the queue and I'll put Ray on it at the same time. And so like 7 years after then, I called up in the summer and I checked my place in the season ticket waiting list. I'm like 56,000.
Yes, like
56,000. I've got to wait for 56,000 people to die, and then I can get my season. So for me, like getting this email is just like I'm going to get that because you don't get those opportunities again. I probably wouldn't get that opportunity for about another 20 years. So, and if it's only a year-long thing, but at the end of that year, they will kill my waiting list for next season, and I'll just get first dibs on the season tickets next season. Yeah, I will get one next season. So it was amazing news. It was a great way to cap off that win yesterday. It was
worth hanging up on your gospel.
Congrats, Zips.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
The other question I have is, how cheap is a phone call in the UK?
Yeah. Look. Oh, that's not the worst. The worst thing, right, is I've been listening to. They've got like 4 pieces of music, right, 4 tracks that they keep playing on repeat. So I've had these 4 tracks playing since 10 o'clock this morning until 5 o'clock this afternoon, again and again.
Oh man!
I've got unlimited minutes and everything on my phone, but it was just the longest hold ever.
Just like it.
And on that crazy unemployed moment,
you were rewarded. You were well rewarded, brother. Well rewarded.
Yeah, it was good. Thanks.
Nazim, I think that's the end of our
that's it. Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Gavin, Alex, Wolfie, thanks a lot, guys. In the comments, it was a banger of a show.
Cool, man.
We had fun.
Love you guys.
We will be back next week
Tell me,
for the Brighton game.
I read on one of the comments, one of the lads wanted Morgie to give his prediction for the Leeds game because apparently he's an undercover cop.
Leeds supporter. Yeah. Okay, so let's get it. Okay, Morgan, give us the Carabao Cup. Carabao Cup.
Come on, this him. Look at the pose. Yeah, come on.
A 2-1 draw with Arsenal winning on penalties.
Okay, there we go. Okay, guys, thanks a lot. Great show. We'll catch you next week after the Brighton games.
I just want to say to Ravik, we'll get back to you. Someone will get back to you about that question of getting together for the Liverpool game at the Arsenal club. So Ravik, we will get back to you on that.
Thanks, guys. Cheerio. Bye bye.
Yeah, guys.